The topic of Central American migrants crossing Mexico toward the United States has always sparked intense debate. Some advocate for their right to seek a better life, while others criticize them for embarking on such a dangerous journey. In Guerrero, especially in the Costa Chica region bordering Oaxaca, it's common to see men, women, and sometimes even children trying to make their way north. Among them, there are often pregnant women waiting for the freight train known as the Steel Giant, which travels through southern Mexico toward the north. The train departs from Chiapas and makes its way to Mexico City, allowing these migrants to climb onto the roofs of the cars. They do this at great risk, but for them, it's the only mode of transport that brings them closer to their ultimate destination, the elusive American dream. During my visits to Costa Chica in Guerrero, I heard countless stories about Central Americans who, in a small minority, managed to reach their final destination with the help of humanitarian organizations that have a strong presence in the area. These groups provide shelter, food, and medical assistance. Notably, there are the Angels of the Route, a group of women who, as the Steel Giant passes, throw bags filled with food and water to help the migrants endure the harsh journey. Migration has been a part of daily life in this region for many years. However, there's another side to the story. Most migrants are unable to continue their journey. Many are captured by organized crime, killed by corrupt police forces, or sold by immigration authorities to criminal groups. Others fall prey to human traffickers who kill them without consequence. In some cases, they are betrayed by their own countrymen on Mexican soil, who view them as human commodities. There are also tragic stories of those who can't continue their journey because they fall from the Steel Giant and die. Some survive but are left paralyzed or mutilated, losing limbs when the train rolls over them. As they try to recover, they face an uncertain future, often unable to return home or continue their journey. The story I'm about to share involves the feared train, known by many as the Train of Destiny, and the Central American migrants trapped in their dreams, searching for an uncertain future. For some, this train represents the only hope of reaching the coveted north, but for others, it's a one-way path, where the fine line between life and death is constantly tested. This narrative was shared by a 26-year-old young man, a friend of my son, and begins with an episode from his life that changed his destiny. About 8 years ago, when I was finishing high school, I failed a few classes and lost interest in continuing my studies. My uncle, my mother's brother, and a contractor made me an offer. "Look, nephew, instead of doing nothing, come work with me on a construction site. It's at a school that's almost finished, in a small town in Guatemala. The work is simple. You'll be the night watchman. It's a quiet place, and you'll be keeping an eye on the workers, finishing up the details and electrical installations. I'll pay you well. Who knows? Working away from home might make you want to go back to school or even join me in construction. Maybe in the future, you could be my assistant. What do you think?" I accepted the offer right away. To me, it felt more like an adventure, a chance to explore new places outside Oaxaca and show my family I could earn money without studying. So, I packed a few clothes and set off with my uncle. We left early on a Sunday morning. Before we left, my mom blessed me, giving me images of the Virgin of Solitude, the patroness of Oaxaca, and the Virgin of Juquila, whom she said worked miracles. Along with the images, she put candles in my backpack, a pack of matches, and a 7-day candle, something I accepted out of respect, since I wasn't very religious. My dad hugged me, wishing me luck. He even seemed happy that I was finally doing something productive. With a smile, he said, "Be careful, son. Let's see if my rooster has spurs or just makes noise." We laughed and said our goodbyes. On the way, my uncle made a few stops to buy building materials and supplies. The trip was long, and the closer we got to our destination, the more I felt this experience would be unlike anything I had lived before. During the journey, we stopped for lunch and to fuel up the truck. As we continued, we crossed the area where the borders between Oaxaca and Guatemala meet. We arrived in the late afternoon in a small town called Santa Rita, where some workers were already waiting for us. They climbed into the truck, and shortly after, another truck full of workers joined us. From there, we headed north to the construction site. The construction site was near a humble but charming village, nestled in the mountains. The landscape was dense with vegetation and trees everywhere. The air was cool, and mist covered the hills, giving the place a mysterious feel. When we arrived, the workers helped unload the materials my uncle had bought. He introduced me to them, explaining that I would be the night watchman. The workers looked at me with curiosity, and for a moment I thought it was because of my age. I was only 18 at the time. But nobody said anything. After a brief silence, one of the men broke the ice and offered coffee from a large thermos he was carrying. We accepted the hot drink, and my uncle took the chance to give some instructions. He told me he would leave early the next morning to visit other sites he supervised, leaving me in the care of the foreman, who would explain my responsibilities. Tired from the trip, I said goodbye to everyone and went to settle into one of the classrooms of the school under construction. The space was set up as a makeshift dormitory, with some mattresses scattered on the floor. One of the workers joked, "Enjoy your sleep tonight because tomorrow night the work starts, and then no more sleeping." The others laughed and joined in the joke. I was confused about what they meant exactly, but I didn't pay much attention. Construction workers often joke around. In the following days, and for the next 2 weeks, I got used to my new role. I watched over the site at night and tried to sleep during the day. I was still very young and full of energy, so sleep didn't come easily. Plus, the constant noise of the construction, hammers pounding and workers moving around, made it too hectic to relax. The sounds of tools and the hustle of the workers kept me from resting much during the day. To fend off boredom, I began exploring the hills nearby, always careful not to stray too far since the locals warned me about jaguars and other wild animals that could be dangerous. Over time, I earned the workers' trust and got closer to them, eager to learn the basics of construction and electrical work. Gradually, I started helping them with simpler tasks, which taught me not only the craft of building, but also how to cook my own meals and do my laundry. Saturday afternoons had a different vibe on the site. It was the day the workers got paid and headed off to visit their families. I was left alone at the construction site that Saturday night and all day Sunday. By Sunday afternoon, some of the workers returned, and by Monday morning, the team was back together for another week of work. It was on one of those Sundays, my first spent alone at the site, that something unexpected happened. I was walking near the construction, lost in thought, when a thick fog began to roll in, making the surroundings feel almost otherworldly. In the midst of that mist, a figure appeared, almost as if she were part of it. She was a young woman, about 19, with a beauty that made me stop in my tracks. Her sun-kissed skin seemed to absorb the little light that broke through the fog, while her long wavy black hair fell gracefully over her shoulders. But what captivated me most were her deep black eyes, which created a hypnotizing contrast with her face. She wore a green dress with red flowers, swaying gently in the breeze, highlighting her slender figure. That's how I met Karema, an unexpected vision that felt like something out of a dream, or perhaps a nightmare. I felt a chill run down my spine, not from fear, but from the instant attraction I felt toward her. It was as if time had stopped, leaving me there, nervous yet fascinated. Despite the nerves her presence stirred in me, we managed to talk for a while. Karema told me she was from a small village in Guatemala, where she lived with her grandfather. She explained that her parents had been killed by a local criminal group called Los Sombrios, who attacked them for refusing to cooperate with their illegal activities. One member of that group had insisted that Karema leave with him, threatening to kill her grandfather if she didn't comply. That's why she and her grandfather had fled, and now they were hiding in the area, waiting for the passing of the train known as the Steel Giant to head to the United States. As Karema shared her story, she revealed her worry about her little brother, Darren, who was only 6 years old and had stayed behind in Guatemala. Hearing this made my heart ache. I wanted to help her in any way I could. I offered to speak with my uncle and the foreman, hoping they could provide shelter for her and her grandfather at the construction site, along with food while they waited for the right moment to continue their journey. Karema's distress over fleeing violence and protecting her family touched me deeply. In that moment, I felt an overwhelming urge to protect her from all harm, something I had never experienced before. Karema looked at me with gratitude and promised she would return the following Sunday to say goodbye before leaving. Although she appreciated my offer of shelter, she explained she couldn't accept it. She said if the criminal group pursuing her was indeed after her, the first place they would look would be the construction site where I worked. As for food, Karema mentioned there were fruits they could gather in the surrounding forest and animals they could hunt for sustenance. However, she accepted my offer of candles and matches. I took her to the spot where I kept the candles my mother had given me. I handed them all over, but Karema decided to return one, saying I might need it in the future. She then noticed the images of the Virgin of Solitude and the Virgin of Juquila, picked them up, and with a melancholic air, commented on how much those images reminded her of her own Virgin of the Rosary. Her expression shifted to sadness, and her voice trembled as she asked me a favor. "Can I ask you something?" she said. "Of course," I replied quickly. "Please, pray to your virgins for me, for my grandfather, and for my little brother back in Guatemala." I walked Karema back to where the fog began to cover the hills. Along the way, she seemed anxious, glancing around as if expecting something at any moment. When we reached the edge of the fog, she turned to me with a serious, grateful expression. "Please, don't follow me any further," she said softly. "I don't want you to be exposed to the danger from the criminals that roam around here." Her words caught me off guard, but there was an urgency in her tone that left me no room to question. Before she moved away, Karema made one last request, that I wouldn't tell anyone about her presence there. The days that followed felt like they dragged on forever, which was agonizing. When the second Sunday arrived, I waited for Karema all day. However, she didn't show up, leaving me feeling sad and worried. As evening approached, some of the workers returned to the site, and being with them helped me forget my sadness for a while. Their conversations revolved around work, and I heard some mention that they would do their best to finish everything before the arrival of the dark night of the old moon, because the site became eerie then. From my limited time with them, I noticed most were quite superstitious. Curious, I asked what this old moon was. An older worker known as Scu Joao explained. "It's when the moon doesn't show up in the sky, leaving everything in darkness. The place here gets creepy, filled with strange noises." Before he could continue, the foreman interrupted him. "Joao, don't scare the watchman. What will we do if he decides to leave? Let the boy work in peace. We all need to rest. Besides, these dark night stories are just legends." The workers retired to the hall where they slept, leaving me alone that night. The darkness around me felt thicker, and Scu Joao's words kept echoing in my mind. That night, as I prepared for sleep, my thoughts were filled with Karema. I wondered if she and her grandfather had finally managed to board the beast, the train that takes so many in search of a better future. The thought that she might now be somewhere pursuing her dreams brought me a bittersweet joy. However, not having had the chance to say goodbye, to give her my address, or to maintain a connection with someone who had touched my heart so deeply left a void. The next morning, Monday, I saw the workers discussing the plans for the week. I approached them and learned that both the masons and electricians planned to work extended shifts, including part of the night, to get ahead on the job. They were eager because the school furniture was set to arrive on Wednesday, and they wanted everything ready for transport. The goal was to finish the work by Friday, so everyone could get paid and head home by the end of the afternoon. The following days were intense, with everyone giving their all. On Wednesday night, when they finally finished organizing the furniture in the shed, some of the workers decided to celebrate. They bought beers and started drinking, toasting to the completed work. With Karema still on my mind, I had a few beers myself, and by around 11, feeling quite drunk, I decided to lie down and get some rest. It was then, near midnight, that a loud bang shook the ground, breaking the festive atmosphere and plunging the site into complete darkness. One of the workers shouted that the power transformer had exploded for no apparent reason. The master electrician tried to figure out what had happened, but couldn't find any logical explanation. They decided to switch on the generator, but to everyone's surprise, it didn't work either. Everything seemed intact, but nothing was functioning no matter how hard we tried. Amid the confusion and the drunken state of most, the workers decided to leave the repairs for the next day. Some kept drinking, while others, already tired, prepared to sleep. It was then that I heard one of the masons, a local man, say something that caught my attention. "It's the Guatemalan who can't rest in peace." Another worker tried to silence him, but my curiosity was already piqued. I approached and asked, "Which Guatemalan?" He looked at me with heavy eyes and replied, "The one Los Sombrios killed months ago. She was fleeing Guatemala with her little brother and grandfather. The engineer who was here before your uncle hired the old man as a watchman because they wanted to save money to catch the beast and try to get to the United States. But Los Sombrios found them. Her grandfather, old Leonardo, God rest his soul, couldn't escape." His answer left me uneasy. Karema's story and the tragedy surrounding it were somehow intertwined with this place. The silence that followed was unsettling, and a chill ran down my spine. The feeling that something was deeply wrong here only grew stronger. While the workers were talking among themselves, one of them, completely drunk, started speaking louder, almost shouting, "They don't rest in peace. The old man was killed with blows. The Guatemalan girl, the poor thing, was raped and then killed too. The little brother, poor kid, was taken. They used the boy to lure victims for muggings on the road, until he ended up dying in a shootout with the police." He paused, his face pale under the dim light of the lantern, and whispered, "Now the Guatemalan must be wandering around, thinking we're Los Sombrios. I'm not staying here." The other workers tried to calm him down, saying he was too drunk to go out at that hour, and it was better to wait until Friday, when everyone would leave together. Still shaken by the story, I asked if he knew the name of the Guatemalan girl. He shook his head, saying he didn't know more than what he had heard from others when he started working there, but sometimes she appeared around, like a lost shadow in the darkness. Another worker, less drunk, tried to reassure me. "Don't mind him, he's seeing things that aren't there. You should try to sleep too, we'll take care of everything." But how could I sleep? The story felt oddly familiar. The pieces were fitting together, but in a horrifying way. Karema, it couldn't be. I had seen her, talked to her, she was alive. So why were they saying she was dead? Juan, the mason who was more sober, asked me quietly, "Did you see her?" "You didn't, did you?" Before I could answer, a metallic and disturbing noise echoed from the tool shed, as if someone was dragging or banging on the furniture we had stored there. The workers, shining their lanterns, ran to the shed to see what was going on. I stayed behind, feeling a chill run down my spine, unsure of what to think. After a few minutes, they returned, pale and confused. The master electrician looked at me with a tense voice and said, "Let's all gather in the hall. Stay close." Another mason from the area, who seemed to know the local superstitions well, murmured, "There's something evil lurking here, something that doesn't belong to this world." I asked what was happening, but one of the workers simply replied that the shed was exactly as they had left it, with no sign that anything or anyone had disturbed the furniture. Nobody could explain the noises they had heard. We gathered in the hall, all silent, with the heavy air of tension. There were about 30 of us, all used to hard work, but at that moment, fear was written on their faces. The silence was broken only by the usual sounds of the night. The distant roar of some animal, the rustling of branches in the wind, and the cries of monkeys in the trees. Suddenly, it started to rain. Lightning lit up the sky, casting eerie shadows on the trees around us. One of the workers near the window shouted, "Look!" Everyone turned in the direction he was pointing. With the flash of lightning, we saw, among the twisted branches of a tree, the silhouette of someone, a completely naked figure, staring back at us. Terror gripped us all. As that sinister figure moved among the branches, one of the workers tried to calm the others down. "It's just a monkey, don't worry." But another quickly shot back, "Look again. With the lightning, that, whatever it is, it's not a monkey." We all focused intently, and another flash illuminated the scene. That being, which had looked like a man or something similar, leaped from one tree to another, and then dropped to the ground, moving in a grotesque manner, almost like it was dancing in the rain, fully aware that we were watching. I felt a deep, paralyzing fear. The sounds in the shed echoed back, more intense and threatening. Now it felt like something was scratching the walls with sharp claws, trying to tear them apart. Juan, trying to keep calm, said, "Stay calm. It must be the bad energy that lingered here after that tragedy with the old caretaker, Leonardo. Something dark got trapped here. Anyone who knows how to pray, please do. Any prayer will do." Thinking of prayer reminded me of the only one I had kept, along with the images of the Virgin of Solitude and Juquila that Karema had held. A knot formed in my throat, and tears began to flow. I didn't know what hurt more, the possibility that Karema was dead or the brutal tragedy she might have suffered. The men, seeing my state, assumed my tears were from fear, and out of respect, they said nothing. With trembling hands, I took the images from my belongings and lit the candle. Juan moved closer, joining me in prayer. He asked for eternal rest for the souls who had perished in that place. One by one, the other workers, tough and calloused men, also approached, murmuring prayers under their breath, as if the words could push away the terror surrounding us. Then, as if in response to our prayers, the horrifying sounds from the shed began to fade, growing weaker until they vanished completely. The storm started to lose strength too, and without the lightning, we could no longer see the strange being watching us from the trees. "Well, it must be around 3 in the morning," someone commented, relieved but still cautious. "It seems like this night brought all the hauntings at once. I suggest we get out of here and head to the nearest village, in Arriaga. In the daylight we can come back. It's not worth risking our lives, especially with our families waiting for us. And you, kid, come along. No one will tell your uncle, we'll take care of it." I nodded and began to walk toward the trucks. However, when we tried to start one of them, the engine simply wouldn't respond. "Damn it, this one won't work," one of the workers said, while Juan muttered something to himself, already approaching the vehicle, determined to fix the problem despite the fear that hung over us all. As he prepared to try starting the truck, we all watched anxiously, wishing only to escape that cursed place. When the truck finally started, a collective sigh of relief spread among us. The headlights illuminated the narrow, winding path, but the darkness of dawn still seemed to swallow us whole. As we drove on, we spotted a group waiting near the train tracks. They looked like migrants, waiting for the next train, all silent with hopeful expressions. A few meters ahead, Juan asked the drivers to stop. He made the sign of the cross and, with a voice full of concern, warned us, "These are the souls of the migrants waiting for the beast. We can't pass through here. It's better to pray for them." We heard the distant sound of an approaching train. When it finally appeared, its dim lights barely illuminated the scene. The train came to a stop, and people began to board. Some were visibly in poor condition, missing 1 or 2 limbs, while others were whole but struggled to climb aboard. It was a sight that reflected the harshness and uncertainty of the journey they were facing. After the passengers boarded, the train departed, disappearing into the darkness of dawn. Juan and a few other workers began to pray aloud, asking for peace for the souls who had left and for protection for those continuing their journey. I joined them, tears streaming down my face. I thought of Karema, wishing she could finally find rest and that her terrible journey would come to an end. I hoped that wherever she was now, her pure heart would guide her to a place of serenity and love. As the train vanished on the horizon, the sky began to lighten, and morning arrived without us quite knowing what had happened to time during that night. We decided to return to the construction site. To our surprise, everything was in order. The transformer was intact and working perfectly. The situation had returned to normal, as strange as it seemed. That same day, at the end of the shift, I thanked my uncle for giving me the chance to work with him and for providing me with such an intense experience. He offered me the opportunity to start studying for a career in the electrical field, something I began to seriously consider. Whenever I think of Karema, I say a prayer for her, just as she asked me to, hoping that somehow she finds the peace she truly deserves.
Did you like the video? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any chilling stories. If you like mystery and supernatural stories, Chronicles of Fear is the right place for you. Leave your comment and share it with friends who also love a good dose of fear. Until next time, and stay tuned. What you see may not be what it really is.